Hello, folks, and welcome to this week's Sports Guys Talking Wrestling. Stu Myrick, as we get ready to do our final show on the Horn. Hopefully, you heard last week. Heard us talk about it last week. The Horn, the radio station, is going through changes as of August 1st. Unfortunately, those changes mean we will no longer be on the Horn after tonight. So, but we will continue as podcast. So, at least there's that. You'll be able to get us via the podcast, subscribe, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon. There's several others. So, hope you had a good weekend. Hope you've had a good start to your week. It's been start of week. As I mentioned last week, there's going to be quite a bit on NXT's Great American Bash, which is coming here. You'll be at the HEB Center at Cedar Park this coming Sunday. I believe bell time is 6:30 p.m. Central at the HEB Center. Tickets are available via Ticketmaster. If you can't be at the HEB Center at Cedar Park, make sure to catch the Great American Bash on Peacock on Sunday, 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central. As of right now, it's just after 7:30 p.m. Central on a Tuesday. There are, I think, 5 matches. Now, we've got NXT on the screen, so if matches get added, and I get a sense we'll get at least 1 or 2 more, then we will cover those hopefully in the course of the broadcast. But as of right now, there are 5 matches. Now, one of them, it looks like it might end up being a triple threat. I'm awaiting word. See if they confirm that on the broadcast on USA. But we'll see. So we'll talk NXT Great American Bash. We'll also talk about what happened in WWE. We're going to try to find out what Tribal Combat is, because apparently that's the match that is going to take place at SummerSlam between Roman Reigns and Jey Uso for the undisputed Universal Championship. So we're going to talk a little bit about that. We'll talk about some of the other stuff that's happening in WWE. We'll recap the Blood and Guts match from AEW Dynamite last week, which was quite brutal, as you might expect. But the Golden Elite gets the victory over the Blackpool Combat Club. It was great to see Kota Ibushi back in a wrestling ring for the first time in, I think, at least a couple of years. He had the falling out with New Japan, got out of that contract, and it was kind of a mess. But he found himself in an AEW ring last week with his Golden Lovers partner Kenny Omega, along with Hangman Adam Page and the Young Bucks. So it was good to see him. I got a few other notes from AEW. Is Billy Gunn really retiring? We'll see. And we'll touch on Death Before Dishonor from Ring of Honor. Only one title changed hands, and that was the tag titles. Congratulations to Aussie Open on winning those. So, but not much else. And if you heard me talk about it last week, Tony Khan during his media call last week, every indication was that card had gone through multiple changes, pretty much leading up to Friday. So, I would say the biggest one is probably Mark Briscoe with the knee surgery, because it was supposed to mean Mark Briscoe facing Claudio Castagnoli for the Ring of Honor World Title. I think a lot of folks felt that Mark Briscoe was going to win that title, but of course he couldn't go, so now he's so it ended up being Pac. They had the falling out during the Blood and Guts match, which led to the Pac saying he was going to challenge him. So we'll talk a lot about that. The first segment is, half of it is in the can. Last Thursday, I had the chance to chat with the NXT Women's Champion, Tiffany Stratton. Nice little chat. It's actually up. You can get it on podcast. It's also on YouTube. So that'll be in the first segment of the radio show, as will my chat with Roxanne Perez, the former NXT Women's Champion. I'm scheduled to talk to her tomorrow morning, and so that will end up, as part of the radio show and the podcast as well. So the podcast will not drop until probably lunchtime, around noon Central on tomorrow. Just because again, waiting on that. And then I'm also set, as Justin the Smash Simmons walks in, also set to talk to Wes Lee, the former NXT North American Champion, on Thursday, which we've had, in Wes Lee, formerly known as Desmond Xavier. We've known him for quite some time. There it is. It is a triple threat. All right, so we got that confirmed. Hello,
How's
Justin.
it going?
What's up, man? How are you?
I'm doing all right.
Good. So they did confirm it. It is going to be triple threat. Dominic Mysterio defending the North American title against Wes Lee and Mustafa Ali at Great American Bash this Sunday in Cedar Park, just north of Austin. How you been?
Tired.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, working the 43 jobs that you have, I guess that takes it out of you. So
that would do it. Plus the heat.
Yeah. Sadly, the heat's going to continue for a while. I was actually on a weather call today, and the National Weather Service basically said we're going to have, hot weather, dry weather. Obviously they can't forecast it past, I think their forecast runs, 2-3 weeks ahead, but they're saying right at least through mid-August, hot and dry. So, it's, it's Texas, it's summer. So,
pretty normal.
Yeah. So, in fact, I will be honest, it was nice to be indoors Sunday night. Inspire After Death held Style Wars 1, and it was a collaboration with 7 other promotions.
Yes.
It was good. It was really good.
We talked to Biss about it last week.
Yeah, it was a really good show. I got to see some wrestlers I hadn't seen before. I was really impressed. A young man named Kenny Calypso he really caught my eye. But yeah, it was a good show. A lot of fun. Had a great crowd at Pinball's Lake Creek location. So, and I'll talk about it during the show. But yeah, good stuff. So, so anyway, one more time on the horn, and then we go back to being a podcast.
Yeah,
Like we used to, like we started. So, but yeah, should be good. So as I mentioned, first segment is half of it's in the can with the Tiffany Stratton interview, and then the other half will be tomorrow morning when I talk to Roxanne Perez. And so we will start with the second segment as it would be laid out.
Okay.
And preview. Start with a preview of Great American Bash. And as Von Wagner puts Javier Bernal through the announce desk, I think Von Wagner's getting a big time. Oh, he just got speared out of his boots by Braun Breaker.
Has he always had a full beard?
I
don't think so.
No, I don't think so. I think that's part of his heel look. Von Wagner had been getting very positive reactions from the crowd. So,
Well, he's got the red shoes on, like the bloodline, so maybe.
No, he's not part of the bloodline.
No, I wasn't referring to it about that. I was talking about his heel look.
Oh, well,
All black with red.
yeah. So,
I guess that's a pretty.
all right,
heel
let's make a little radio magic. Let's switch to the soundboard. All right, YouTube, Twitch. I'll mute you for just a moment so we don't get caught with the copyright violation. So we'll be right back. Back here on Sports Guys Talking Wrestling, Justin Smash Simmons joins me.
Good to see you, Stu.
Now we have a Shawn Michaels drop.
It's about time. Better late than
It
never.
was great to chat with him.
I'm
It
sure.
really was. He couldn't have been nicer. He was wonderful. So, it'd be great if we could say hi to him this Sunday, but we'll see. Speaking of this Sunday, let us preview NXT Great American Bash. Again, it is happening this Sunday, 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central on Peacock. If you're here in Austin, get your tickets via Ticketmaster. Bell time is 6:30 p.m. Central. It'll be, again, HEB Center at Cedar Park, the home of the Texas Stars and the Austin Spurs. As of right now, and we are recording this. It's right at 7:45 p.m. Central on Tuesday. There are 5 matches slated as of now. Now, pull the curtain back a little bit. We have NXT on our TV screen here in the studio. So if matches get added, we will let you know, especially if they happen during the broadcast. So, but as of right now, 5 matches. Roxanne Perez facing Blair Davenport. Blair Davenport apparently has had a huge problem with her in recent weeks. Feels like she's not strong enough to be a wrestler, much less in NXT. Of course, Blair Davenport, the former Brie Priestley, a lot of time in Stardom. one time aligned with Will Ospreay, in fact. But yeah, Roxanne Perez, the former NXT Women's Champion, facing Blair Davenport.
Is it like she going through a rut or something?
Roxanne Perez has been going through a bit of a down spot, and I talked to her about it during the interview because, of course, I was able to interview her in Los Angeles when we were there for WrestleMania weekend and NXT Stand and Deliver. She lost the title that weekend, and since then has been kind of spinning her wheels, quite honestly. So I guess I'm going to be the optimist and say Roxanne Perez gets back on the winning track on Sunday. It would not shock me if Blair wins, but I'm gonna go with the former Roxy, and like I said, get back on the winning track.
Nah.
You're going Blair?
Yeah, there's
Okay.
no reason to start this whole thing. Roxanne can take losses. She already has credibility, so it's fine. She can bounce back at another time, but she's being used to put over what a much needed repair to the NXT women's roster right now.
Yeah. So for the North American Championship, this match has gone through a few changes after last week. Dominic Mysterio beating Wes Lee with help from the rest of the Judgment Day. So now it's going to be a triple threat. So it was originally slated Wes Lee would defend against Mustafa Ali. Now Dominic Mysterio has the title. Wes Lee wanted a rematch. Mustafa Ali came out saying, "Hey, I was supposed to challenge you for that belt, but you had to be the dummy and lost it." So now they've made it a triple threat. So it will be Dominic Mysterio defending the NXT North American Championship against Wes Lee and Mustafa Ali in a triple threat. Any reason to believe Dominic Mysterio is not coming out of there with the belt?
No, I think he wins too. I can't foresee anything.
It will be by cheating,
as it should be.
yes. I'm pretty sure Rhea Ripley will be with him, so Rhea will factor into the victory. But yeah, Dirty Dom
I don't know.
will remain the North American
I
champion
think he's
after the
crafty.
bash.
He might be able to get it done on his own.
No, he hadn't been able to do it on his own yet. So for the NXT Tag Team titles, Gallus defending against Tony D'Angelo and Stax. We found out that the plot to with Tony in jail, quote unquote, was all a ploy to get Gallus to put those tag titles up. So it will be at the bash.
Is this opportunity for them to get the titles that they didn't get a chance to have when Tony D'Angelo got hurt?
I think so. And so I'm gonna go with Tony D and Stax on this.
But I
one.
mean, Gallus has been the tag champions ever since the kind of
they
event.
won them at.
It's been a long time.
They've had them for a while. Yes. I'm gonna go with Tony D and Stax on this one. Just it feels like maybe it's their time. I think Gallus could take a loss here, and kind of like what you said with Roxanne.
Mm-hmm.
I think Gallus could take the loss and still look strong. So I'm gonna go with Tony D and Stax.
I don't think Gallus will lose. As much as I find them boring and uninteresting, I don't see their reign ending because the WWE has been big on streaks recently.
Well, that's true. That's true. So we'll see. In a submission match, Tiffany Stratton will defend the NXT Women's title against Thea Hale from Chase U. You heard me talk to her. Tiffany Stratton is not a submission wrestler, but as you heard her say, she's going to find a way to learn some submission maneuvers, and she's going to do everything she can to keep that title around her waist. I'm going to go with Tiffany.
Yeah, I mean, she's She's an athlete, so she'll figure it out. And when she's the best athlete on that roster, at least in the women's division, then she's going to have a chance every time.
Yeah, yeah. And then for the NXT Championship, Carmelo Hayes defending against Ilya Dragunov. I want to pick Ilya so badly because he is one of my favorites. But Carmelo Hayes is coming out of there with the title. He's going to win, I think.
I mean, the chase is always more interesting than the defending.
Right.
I don't see why he couldn't lose.
Talking about...
Yeah, Hayes.
It's possible. I mean, like I said, this is one of those matches where WWE gets it right in the sense that, sure, there is a plausible route that sees Ilya Dragunov win the title. I could believe either way.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just, this is just going with my gut. I'm gonna go with Carmelo Hayes.
I think Ilya wins and they start a chase until they call up Carmelo.
Okay. All right. Anyway, that is the NXT Great American Bash this Sunday at the HEB Center at Cedar Park. Again, tickets are available at Ticketmaster.com. Bell time 6:30 p.m. Or if you can't be there, catch it on Peacock, 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central. Should be a big show, and as I mentioned, if we hear more matches between now and the time we go off the air, we will let you know. Let's talk a little bit about SmackDown. So, Roman Reigns and Jey Uso had this...
Whoa. Are you not excited about this?
What?
About SmackDown.
I don't know. I don't know to be excited because here's the thing. So, you had Roman Reigns and Jey Uso sit down for the rules of engagement.
Yeah.
So, they're basically saying, look, they're going to meet at SummerSlam. And what it turns into, basically, they're going to have tribal combat.
Yes.
What does that mean?
Doesn't matter what it means. It means it doesn't matter what it means. What it means is that it's going to be tribal combat. Something that we probably have already seen before with a different name, but that should be the blow off to the feud.
I mean, could be a no holds barred Texas death match, whatever.
It is. I mean, it's probably going to have some more.
I don't think they're going to do death match style. It's it's WWE.
Well, we don't know that yet.
Oh, they're not going to go that far. It's not going to be like, say, Lance Archer and Jon Moxley in New Japan.
Well, no. Not to that level, no, and it shouldn't be. But I think it's definitely going to be a no holds bar match of some sort.
I'm sure there will.
DQ.
Yeah, I'm sure there's. Yeah, it's going to be some sort of version of that. So, it'll be interesting.
And we haven't seen Hell in a Cell in a while, or at least I haven't. So,
well, yeah, but it's not. If it was Hell in a Cell, they'd call it Hell in a Cell.
But it doesn't have to be. It's like the Pujambi prison match. It was
no,
basically
they're not
going
to do that. They're not going to do that. It's my guess.
Weapons on a cage match. I mean, yes, they can do this, and they have done this in the past.
They've done it. They're not doing it this one. I get the sense it's going to be like a no DQ. I don't know, something like that. So we'll see.
Is there going to be a pit? You think there might be a pit?
No.
There could be a pit involved.
Will they put the pig? Roast a pig in the pit.
No, just like
we're talking Polynesian, so
No, I'm talking about kind of like in the Quest.
Oh.
Or like in
Bloodsport. I have no idea. Anyway, we'll see. Something else we will see this Friday on SmackDown. LWO versus LWO. Rey Mysterio and Santos Escobar, who are fellow LWO members, are going to face each other. The winner gets to face Austin Theory for the United States title. We don't know if that will be at SummerSlam or that'll be on SmackDown. I've heard rumors that it could be on SmackDown, but we'll see.
I think that's going to make the SummerSlam card.
I would think so.
It might make the undercard of SummerSlam.
I would. Well, yeah, but I mean, I would think it would make it to SummerSlam, but I don't know. So we'll see.
Well, who wins?
Huh?
Who wins? You got Ray
I
versus
would
Santos.
I'd put Escobar over. He's the young guy.
I mean, Santos should be laying down for Mysterio if he loves him so much.
Yeah, but I think I think
NWO
Ray would
style.
want. I think Ray would want Santos to go after the title.
But he's not going to lay down.
He's not going to lay down, but I think, like I said, I think Santos Escobar could go. So we'll see.
Is he ready?
Huh?
Is he ready for the
I
push?
don't know. We'll see. Meanwhile, Monday Night Raw, Judgment Day are basically running roughshod, including Dominic Mysterio defeating Sami Zayn again with the help of the Judgment Day. The one thing we did find out, and there's multiple reports about this, Kevin Owens dealing with an injury, could be a rib injury. We don't know what his status is. We don't know how severe the injury is. Let's hope it's not so severe they have to relinquish the titles, because that would be the absolute worst way for that title reign to end.
Nah, if they had to, they would have already done it already. Where were they supposed to be at SummerSlam?
I don't know. That's the thing. I don't know what.
Okay, so they're fine then.
There's,
it's not a big deal.
Well, remember, SummerSlam's in a week and a half.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean that they have to be on the card. I mean, you are going to put Sami Zayn on that card if he can go, and you're going to have Kevin Owens make an appearance, obviously.
But you're not going to have probably not going to have a title match.
Yeah, that's fine. You don't need to have a tag team match. They're over as it is. Not because they're the tag team champions.
We'll see. By the way, God bless Corey Graves. Oh, my God. So last night, or Monday night on Raw, you had Drew McIntyre facing Ludwig Kaiser. Of course, they're building towards Drew versus Gunther for the IC title at SummerSlam. And Ludwig Kaiser's getting kind of beat. And Corey Graves, almost the entire match, he is doing his impression of Ludwig Kaiser.
It was pretty good, too.
It was fantastic. It was hilarious. I thought that was the funniest thing. Oh, my God. So good. So good.
I'm always surprised when people hate him. I'm like, he's actually the perfect WWE color commentator.
Yeah, he's good. He's good. Real quick, AEW. Last week on Dynamite, blood and guts. Brutal. We saw a bed of nails, which we found out on Being the Elite weighed over 100 pounds. Also, Matt Jackson had thumbtacks on the bottom of his shoe. In the end, the Golden Elite. Great to see Kota Ibushi, by the way, back in the ring. So good to see him. The Golden Elite get the victory. And after the show goes off the air, Golden Elite makes peace with Blackpool Combat Club. They're shaking hands. Now, I don't know if that's going to carry over to Dynamite this week. We'll see. But yeah, that was kind of neat. The one thing on Collision, the Acclaimed and Billy Gunn, Daddy Ass, facing the House of Black for the Trios title. House of Black wins in about 2-3 minutes. After the match, Billy Gunn sits in the ring and takes his boots off and leaves them in the ring, which seems to indicate he's going to retire now. We'll see what happens because, he left his boots in the ring. He gets out of the ring and basically blows right past the Acclaimed. So I don't know what that's going to look like going forward. I don't think he's going to retire.
No, it sounds like he's just on his final run now.
It's more of a kind of just a tease, but we'll see.
Maybe the final part of the calendar year.
Could be. So anyway. Oh, and then this coming Saturday, FTR will defend the AEW tag team titles against MJF and Adam Cole. I've heard a lot of people that say they should keep MJF and Adam Cole together and actually have them win the tag titles. I think the thought, at least at one time, was FTR wins, MJF turns on Adam Cole, then they'll set up that program for All In and or All Out. But we'll see.
No, I'm okay with them winning the tag titles. That'd be cool.
It would be interesting. We'll see if Tony Khan sticks with his original plan or if he decides to, change course. So, anyway, there you go. That's what's happening in WWE and AEW. We're going to take a quick time out. When we come back from the break, we'll let you know what's happening in Texas Independent Wrestling this weekend. Plus, we'll look at Ring of Honor Death Before Dishonor. And one final time, we will say thank you to our radio listeners. You're listening to Sports Guys Talking Wrestling. That went long, but that's okay. I kind of designed that segment to, edit easily that way. Because I don't know how long the first segment's going to be, depending on how long I talk to Roxanne tomorrow. So, yeah. We've got a kendo stick between Dana Brooke and Cora Jade. And they've already messed up Dana Brooke's lipstick. She's got some red on her cheek. It's like they smeared her lipstick or something. Which it's always a something to behold that they get fully made up.
And then
to go to the ring and then wrestle.
Well, you gotta be TV ready. So yeah, makes
I
sense.
suppose. Sure. So
yeah, I mean, people are taking pictures of you and stuff. I'm like, yeah, you gotta look your best.
Gotta look your best. Yeah.
I mean, it's not like the guys aren't out there tanning oil, working on their tans, oils on the muscles. Get that.
Well, yeah,
cleaner.
but yeah, tanner and stuff. That's one thing.
It's the same thing.
It is kind of the same thing, I guess. By the way, we saw Gable Steveson. I don't know if he made a decision. Baron Corbin came out and they fought. So we'll see what decision he was. I could swear he had already said he was going to go. He was going to compete at the 2024 Olympics in Paris to get another gold medal. I could swear that was the deal. I know he was going to, he competed again in the NCAAs. But who knows? Maybe they were going to, maybe he had a change of heart or something. I don't know.
I mean, maybe he wants to make more money.
Which that's possible. So, all right, let's do this last segment. What time is it? Okay, it's 8:00. So, still waiting here if we get any more matches, but that's okay. Here we go. Mute. Back here on Sports Guys Talking Wrestling, Stu Myrick, Justin Smash Simmons. Got a few cards to tell you about happening this weekend in Texas Independent Wrestling. We will start with DFW All Pro Wrestling with 2 shows this Friday. First of all, they will have Dojo Wars 5, where it will be DFW All Pro versus the Rhodes Wrestling Academy. That's this Friday, Haltom Theater in Haltom City. Doors open at 7 p.m. Central. Exodus Prime will be there. Maya World, JL, Hit, El Rayo, and more. That's DFW Pro Wrestling Dojo Wars 5. And then Political Warfare 3 will happen after Dojo Wars 5. Again at the Haltom Theater in Haltom City. Barrett Brown will be on that card. LC Mox, JT LaMotta, and more. DFW Pro Wrestling, a doubleheader this Friday night in Haltom City. Matt War Pro Wrestling presents Ultraviolet Dreamers Friday at the Southside Preservation Hall in Fort Worth. Bell time 8 p.m. Central. Angel Camacho, Dante Smiley, Damon McCullough, and more. That's Matt Ward Pro Wrestling this Friday night in Fort Worth. Gulf Coast Wrestling Alliance presents Pura Lucha Friday at the Valencia Event Center in Corpus Christi. Bell time 7 p.m. Central. The AAA Mega Champion El Hijo del Vikingo will be there. Gringo Loco, Flip Gordon, EC3, and more. That's Gulf Coast Wrestling Alliance this Friday night in Corpus Christi. And Undisputed Pro Wrestling presents UPW 40 Saturday at the Santa Fe Fire Department in Santa Fe. Bell time 7 p.m. Central. T. Ray Watford, Sam Stackhouse, Luther Black, and more. That's Undisputed Pro Wrestling this Saturday in Santa Fe. And that's a look at independent wrestling around the area. Wherever you may be, go out and support independent wrestling. Speaking of independent wrestling, Inspire After Death, fantastic event on Sunday at Pinball's, the Lake Creek location here in Northwest Austin, with Style Wars #1 collaborating with DFWL Pro, Premier Wrestling Federation, Branded Outlaw Wrestling, Baracho Pro, New Texas Pro Wrestling, Texas Wrestling Cartel, and Lone Star Waco Association of Wrestling. Got to see some wrestlers that I hadn't seen before. Very impressive, though. A lot of fun. A really good card. Hopefully we do that again soon. Inspire's next event, August 6th, Rule in Hell, back at the Empire Control Room and Garage on East 7th Street in downtown Austin. There's a big card for that one. We'll preview it next week on the podcast. Ring of Honor had their Death Before Dishonor pay-per-view. The indication from Tony Khan during his media call was that this card had gone through a lot of changes because of injuries and different availabilities and such. It did end up the only title change. Aussie Open survives the four-way with Lucha Brothers, Best Friends, and the Kingdom. So Aussie Open are your new Ring of Honor World Tag Team Champions. Everybody else kept their titles. The main event was Athena and Willow Nightingale for the women's title. Athena gets the victory. That was met with quite a bit of disapproval from the crowd there in Trenton, New Jersey. I think a lot of people expected Willow Nightingale to win the title. Tony Khan's done that before. He did it at Supercard of Honor in Los Angeles when Claudio Castagnoli beat Mark Briscoe. I think a lot of people expected Mark Briscoe to win. So anyway, it was a good event. I do know our good friend Kerry Silken was down there. It's good to see Kerry hanging out with Ring of Honor. You know, he's a big part of why it was stuck around as long as it did. So, for those that are listening to us on the Horn, you probably heard us talk about it last week. This is our final show on the Horn. Again, just briefly go over it. As of August 1st, 104.9 FM is being sold to another entity. The station is being reconfigured. Unfortunately, that means us, as well as all the weeknight shows, the weekend shows, are going away. It is going to be a mix of local and national sports talk. They will also carry the Texas Rangers baseball for as long as they last, which, again, Rangers leading the AL West, so who knows, might see some playoff baseball or hear some playoff baseball. But this is our final show on the Horn. Now, of course, we will continue on the on podcast each week, and we started as a podcast, but to be able to be on the Horn Airways for 6 years, it was an honor to be part of the on-air lineup. And then on top of that, you and I have done so many things on the Horn, from high school football, soccer, you and Wags on Wagner Wire, which that show's moving to another station. It's going to be weird. Yeah. It's going to take a little getting used to, but as I said, it's been an honor and a pleasure. to be on these Horn airwaves. Want to thank Genuine Austin Radio, Bob Cole, Eric Rains, our program director, Chad Hastings, the previous program director, Harron Hogan, and everybody at the Horn, Christina Killingsworth, who is probably the best marketing and promotions director there is. All that, and then on top of that, I want to thank you, the listeners. You're the reason why we were on the station, and it blew me away whenever someone would come up at an event or something and say, "Hey, I listened to your show," and it's like, just could not believe it. It was wonderful. So thank you all for listening to us. Again, we're going to keep on. So as a podcast, so make sure you subscribe on the podcast providers. But this is it for the Horn. This is it for the radio broadcast. And who knows, we may pop up on airwaves somewhere again soon. So stay tuned. So, but that's going to do it for this week's Sports Guys Talking Wrestling. You can follow Justin the Smash Simmons on Twitter, Instagram, Twitch, and Threads at the Smash Simmons. You can follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and Threads at Stu Myrick. That's STEWMYRICK. You can follow the show on Twitter and Twitch at SGTWATX. You can find us on Facebook, Instagram, and Threads, and YouTube at Sports Guys Talking Wrestling. We live stream on YouTube and Twitch most Tuesday nights, 7:30 p.m. Central. You can also catch us anytime on demand by subscribing to us on your favorite podcast provider, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon, and more. Make sure you rate and review us while you're there. New podcast episodes drop each Wednesday. For Justin, I'm Stu. Thank you so much for giving us part of your time, and we will see you at the matches.
Goodbye and good night. Bang!
And there we go. There it is. So.
Now you had no choice.
Yeah.
It was made for us.
Yes. So I think what will happen is, so as I said, I've got an interview with Roxanne Perez tomorrow morning. At that point, the podcast will drop. And of course, you'll hear it on the radio show. And then Thursday morning, in fact, I'm going to make sure I have the time right. Thursday morning, will actually be around lunchtime. I'll be interviewing Wes Lee, the now former North American champion. And so at that time, I'll update you on any matches that are going to be added this Sunday.
Should be a spicy interview.
Should be fun. Like I said, we've talked to Wes, aka Desmond, over the years. Used to have him on our live video streams at Wrestle Circus and horse around with him. So it'll be good to connect with him again. So, what do you got going this weekend?
Just gonna be working, man.
Okay.
Going down to Kerrville.
Ooh, Kerrville. What's in Kerrville?
I attend a bar there.
Oh, okay, cool. Let's see. I'll be at Austin FC and whoever they're playing in Leagues Cup on Saturday.
Getting the last use of that horn pass, huh?
Yeah. Well, and actually, Ryan and the folks at Austin FC said I could keep coming.
Like you're good for the year.
Don't know, what I'm gonna do, but who knows. And then Sunday, I will be at the HEB Center, Cedar Park for Great American Bash. Are you going?
Nope.
Okay, so it would just be me.
Unfortunately, so.
But I will be there. So if you are at the event on Sunday, please come up. Please say hi.
Because the second team plays that day.
Oh yeah. You mean Austin FC too?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, I think I saw something about that. But anyway, so I'll be there. So please say hi to me. Love to hear from folks that listen to the show, listen to the podcast. And, should be a fun show. I'm looking forward to it. It's kind of ironic. I think the last time NXT was in Austin, that was also at the HEB Center, Cedar Park. Although it may have been the Cedar Park Center at that time. I've got the picture and the ticket on the wall behind me. Me and Drew McIntyre, who was the NXT champion at the time.
Yeah, definitely black and gold era. But
Yeah,
I can't remember
it was
when.
black and gold era. Saw Johnny Gargano that night. Saw, I think Asuka was there. I'll think of who else. I don't remember. I'd have to look back. I don't remember exactly who, but anyway, should be a fun event. Be interesting to see how many people are in the arena for that one. We know it can hold around 8,000 for wrestling with all the AEW shows that have been there.
Yeah, but it's a weird time of the year because like
It
the
is a
final
weird
parts
time.
of summer.
Yeah.
People try going on vacation.
That's so weird. Trending #1 on X.
Yeah, you kept on saying Twitter. I'm like,
Now
well, we're
it's
not on
it's
Twitter.
not on
Technically,
Twitter, it's X.
for at least right now. Yes.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah. You know what I'm talking about. So
Maybe, I don't know.
all right, so we're going to sign off for now. But again, thanks so much for joining us. We will be back next week. We got to preview SummerSlam next Saturday in Detroit. So, and Inspire After Death, Rule in Hell as well. We'll do both. So, for Justin, I'm Sue. Thanks so much for joining us.